Hello! Welcome to Claggy, Corona Lockdown Action Group. Yeah! Well, had loads of letters again, and honestly, we're delighted. We read every one of them, and some of them we rub on our cheeks and stuff. We really do enjoy receiving the letters. Now, here's a special letter that we got, a letter from America, you might say. Now, look at this. Isn't that a beauty? Isn't that a beauty? Now, this is what we call a lowercase l. It's pronounced le. And it's the biggest letter we've ever had at Claggy. Look at that, isn't it a beauty? It's got nails. Oh, it's fantastic. Now, this was posted in New Jersey, and it was sent by Bruce Springsteen, the boss. And I'd just like to say thank you very, very much, Bruce. And if you're watching, I'd like to say you're not the boss of me. All right. Now, we had a fabulous reaction to the homemade chickpea flour vaccine that I showed you how to make last week. And people said they were delighted. Now, I did say there were 3 ways of administering it. Injection, orally, or pushing it up your bottom, and most people took it orally. And everyone was really delighted, except for this chap. Now, this is from the House of Parliament. It's from Sergeant Javid, and the sergeant says, "Dear Claggy, I took 2 doses of your chickpea pancake vaccine about 2 weeks ago, and last week I caught David, and so I'd like to sue you for damages. So please, could you give me the name of your insurance company?" Well, Sergeant, thank you very much for your letter, and me and the dog really hope you get better soon. Okay. Now, as regards, so if you'd have watched last week's video carefully, you would have noticed that I showed you this, and that states very clearly that the chickpea vaccine doesn't protect you from choline or transmitting it. But if you do take it, the deleterious effects of the viri will be approximately 28.942% less. Yeah, so you won't be an Eric Burden on the nevertheless. As regards suing me, I lodged an irresponsibility form with my local council, so you can't get anywhere there. And do get better soon. Now, here's a letter from Mrs. Winnie Worrywart from Walksworth, and Winnie writes, "Dear Claggy, I'm really worried about this Freedom Day stuff." She said, "The BBC are telling me that the rates of infection are quadrupling, quintupling and sextupling every hour. And at the same time, the government have decided to relax all the precautions. I just don't get it. What's going on?" Well, Winnie, I agree. It does seem counterintuitive that when the infection rates are heptupling, octupling and nantupling every hour, for the Prime Minister to stand up and say, "I want to be stone free, to ride the breeze, stone free, do what I please, stone free, I can't stay, I've got to get away, turn me loose, baby." For him to stand up in the House of Bonkers and say that, it does seem completely Parliament, doesn't it? But you must remember that the government follow the science, yeah? And science is done by people that are a lot more educated than what we are. And unless you've got a Bunsen burner, a laboratory, test tubes, that sort of thing, you can't really question what they say, okay? Now, the government has access to one of the biggest computers in the world, yeah? And it's at Mint Imperial College, London. Now, there's a Mint Imperial College in Huddersfield, but it's just a shed in a field, and it's got an abacus and all the beads are dropping off. But this Mint Imperial College is in London, yeah? And it's got a team of scientists, really skillful. And they're led by Sir Alex Ferguson, yeah? and he knows how to put a team together. And you just be rest assured that the science will be top quality, because if it isn't, they'll get the hairdryer treatment. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Winnie, you're just going to have to trust. Yeah, trust. Good girl. Now, as you can imagine, me and the dog, we're really, really busy at this time. We're running off our feet. Pause. And so we've decided that we're going on holiday. We're going on holiday next week. We booked it with an Albanian website. They've assured us that the chickpea pancake will serve as a COVID pass, so that's good. And we're flying with Virgin Galactic. Yeah. And where are we going? Yeah, we're going to the edge of space. Yeah. Space. Well, we're going just to the edge of it. And apparently it's really nice. End of July. We're taking off from Gatwick, and we're really excited. Yeah, because we start off in this. It's halfway between a plane and a rocket, and it's called VSS Unity. Yeah, but first we get taken up on this mothership, which is called Mum. Do you know, I once took my mum to a car boot sale, and we got to this stall, and there was this old bloke there, and he looked at my mum and he said, "By heck, I bet you flattened some grass in your time, haven't you, love?" And my mum said, "Well, you cheeky beggar." And then they just got on with car boot sale stuff. It does make me think that previous generations were a lot more robust than we are. Anyway, this mothership takes you up to about 15 miles, and then you set off in your rocket, and it goes another 40 miles, and it does that journey in 90 seconds, because it gets up to speeds of 2,500 miles an hour. Now, those sort of speeds, they play havoc with your internal organs and your entire body. It's an incredible strain for a human, right, to be under. So we've got to wear special stuff. Yeah, we've got to wear an open neck shirt and a pair of sunglasses, because if we don't, we'll be ripped apart by the G-forces. Yeah, and we go through the troposphere, the oh no layer, and then the stratosphere, and then the mesosphere, and then we get to the thermosphere, right? And that's our destination. Yeah, we booked in for 4 minutes, and apparently you get a really good view of the Earth, if the weather's good. But for me, the best thing about it is that when you enter the thermosphere, if you've got a cup of tea, right, when you get out the other side, it's still the same temperature. That is just mind-blowing, right? Anyway, when we leave the thermosphere, this jet rocket thing folds its wings in, and we plummet, yeah? And then just before we hit the ground, the wings come out, and we glide back into Gatwick. And the whole thing only takes 2 hours, which is perfect for me and the dog, because we're busy, we're run off our feet. Pause. So, we'll tell you all about it when we get back. Claggy!